Everyone, it's JIMBO, and today we're going to be looking at two different interior and exterior protectants, one being a tried and true, and then another one being a little bit of a newcomer. And so we're going to use the 303 as a kind of benchmark to see how well this new one from Turtle Wax does. So the benchmark, or the new one that everyone, it's kind of a tried and true, is this. This is the 303 Protectant, interior, exterior. I think everyone is pretty dang familiar with this product. Claims that it helps prevent fading and cracking, which we really don't see too much anymore. Sometimes we see like a sticky dash, but really don't see cracking too much anymore. Does claim to repel dust and lint, and then it's dry to the touch and non-greasy, which is a feature that a lot of people like. I kind of like, I don't love a matte finish in my car, but a lot of people do, so I'm interested to see the difference between those two. If we pop to the back, it talks about it providing superior protection against the sun damaging UV rays. Again, talking about a little bit more of some outdated stuff, which is what we've seen with a lot of these brands I've talked about in previous videos. Some of the verbiage and lingo is definitely a little bit outdated, but nonetheless, a lot of people would consider 303 kind of the staple for an interior protectant, so we will check that out. Compared to that, this is a little bit of a newer product from a legacy brand, I guess, and that is this Mr. Cartoon. This is their interior and exterior protectant. Plastic, rubber, vinyl, talked about that, and same with the 303, vinyl, rubber, and plastic. You know, same words, different setup, I guess. Some very cool art. Again, I don't want to hammer too much upon labels like I have in previous videos. QR code to let you know, long-lasting, rich, deep shine. So they're in and of itself, and the little bit that I've started to mess between the two of these, we're definitely going to see more of a shine out of the Mr. Cartoon line than we will with the 303, which is, I think, going to be one of the biggest differences. But let's take it over to the interior of my car, which is pretty well maintained. And let's try it on the rubber mats, let's try it on the tires, let's try it on the trim, let's try it in a variety of different places and see which one may be better for you. My plan for this video is just to show them across multiple surfaces, and I thought that we would start on the inside of my car because there's so many different surfaces, like a lot of cars, all in one spot, especially starting with this door panel. And as you can see, I maintain my car. I mean, I am a detailer after all. So mainly what I'm looking for in a product is something that will add protection, sure, but honestly, I'm touching the car a lot as it is. And so I don't want a heavy grease buildup, but I also like it a little bit more than matte. So we'll start with the 303 Protectant, and we'll start with the interior. According to the directions, you only want to use on clean surfaces. So that's actually an important note to make about both these products. Is if you look at something like another product that I picked up that I'm working on a video for, is this product right here by Chemical Eyes, and this is called their Total Interior, and it's called the Cleaner and Protectant. But what I've been realizing with it, because I use these products a lot before I actually do a video on them, is that that product is more of a cleaner than it is a protectant, where these products are more of protectants. And so I'm expecting a little bit more shine and gloss. So directions: use on a clean surface, spray surface with the product and wipe completely dry with the clean, dry microfiber towel. Can also be applied directly into a microfiber applicator or towel. If streaking occurs, too much product has been used, use a wet towel to remove excess and immediately wipe completely dry. This product does not air dry. Apply every 3 to 5 weeks. Wait, what? This product does not air dry. So if you do get streaking, it's not gonna air dry, and it does add a little bit of shine. So it will be, that's kind of interesting though, it doesn't air dry. This product does not air dry. Apply every 3 to 5 weeks for maximum UV protection. Great for use on a variety of surfaces such as vinyl, rubber, finished leather, chrome, alloy, plastic, synthetic and natural rubber, gel coat, and fiberglass. Whoa, okay, so you could use it on paint too. We do not use on unfinished leathers such as suede, fabrics, flooring, clear plastic, gauges, panels, or headlights. So I'm expecting shine and gloss. Kind of interesting that you could use it on gel coats, but I guess it kind of makes sense. I think there was another product before that I used that you could use on interiors and exteriors. Definitely is adding some gloss, but it finishes down nice. Doesn't really have any smell. The smell would be just kind of like a chemical smell. But it definitely did add a little bit of gloss and shininess. What I'm gonna have to do is let this kind of, it doesn't feel slimy off the get, so this one gets an A+ on the door panel at least. And so one thing I wanna be vigilant of is that I'm not letting the product build up in my towel. So I have to be aware of that to, make sure I don't get streaking. Let's move on to the seat and see how it does on there. The seats are another area in my car where I actually do like a little bit of gloss. And I like a little bit of gloss, but I like it to look natural. But I don't want it to be a slip and slide, but I do like to slide around a little bit as far as getting in my car. But again, this is why I wanted to try these products, because I have two different surfaces really close to each other. So I have the plastic around the side part down here, and then I have the regular leather right there. So I prefer not to spray it directly onto the surface, so I'm going to spray it into the towel like I just did and rub it in. And not sure if the camera's picking that up, but it does seem to go on pretty smooth and look pretty nice. I could definitely see how if you get buildup in your towel, it's going to streak, but for the most part it goes down and lays down pretty smooth. And try the back part here. And again, every 3 to 5 weeks would be interesting to see how much dust this actually does repel. So maybe I'll do a follow-up on my Instagram for that. If you guys want to follow me over there. It's easier to do those follow-ups in like a story form than doing a whole dedicated video. Seems to be a little boring. So definitely, I think the camera's picking that up. Definitely is adding a little bit of gloss. And then if I tilt the camera down even more, I have a different or more plastic down here. When I tilt that, this is an area of the car. I guess there's some crumbs here, but it's really not that dirty. But this is an area of the car. Again, I like to kind of use as a detailer, but this is an area of the car where I may spray directly on there. Now, it doesn't talk about letting it dwell or anything like that. And overall, this does leave just a really nice, a little bit more than matte finish. And that's what I look for in a product. So overall, so far, this is looking really, really nice. So worked good on here, worked good on the seat, door panel, worked good right here. Maybe I'll bring it up to the dash and see how we do right there. A little bit trickier than I expected to get it in for the dashboard. So, but again, I don't want to spray it because I don't think it said to use it on, yeah, it does not. It says to don't use on clear plastic gauges or headlights. So I don't want to hit the nav screen over there. And so I'm just going to focus on this area, if I could squeeze in here. So I don't want to, because I see that it's adding shine, I really don't want to spray it on the glass either. I just want to hit it on this dash. And you can see it's definitely adding some shine. So usually, they made a note of it repels dust, because usually when you're adding shine, you're attracting dust, but it does seem to just be adding a really nice layer of shine. That's not too much, not too heavy. I personally would like to have a little bit more of a nice scent, more of a pleasant scent, especially for something that's going to be inside my car, but especially as it heats up and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see if the Mr. Cartoon one does have a nicer scent. I just don't really love a chemical smell inside my car. So I think we've nailed it with the 303 on the inside. I think it definitely passes all the tests. The one caveat I would say is it just doesn't smell great. So I don't love that. But for everything else, it really passes the test. And again, on my Instagram, I will follow up to see how it does as far as repelling dust. So let's move on to the outside of the car. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to the other side of the car, check out the Mr. Cartoon stuff, products, see how it compares, and then we're going to go to the exterior of the car with both and see how it does on stuff like tires, trim, and stuff like that. On the driver's side, we're going to be using the Mr. Cartoon Protectant. Looks really nice. And again, kind of states the same facts of a non-greasy, long-lasting dip-rich shine infused with ceramic polymers to repel, protect, and add clarity. So Wonder if this one says anything about being able to use it on the outside, shake well. For interior, plastics and vinyl. For exterior trim, spray product under microfiber cloth, work well until surfaces are evenly protected. For tires, spray evenly onto a clean, dry tire, allow to penetrate 3 to 5 minutes before driving, wipe excess product. So it doesn't talk about using it on paint surfaces, which if a product is shining and producing shine, think of like a tire shine, you're not really gonna wanna use that on a little bit more of a yellow product. You're really not gonna wanna use that as a paint protectant either. Again, same thing, ooh, really nice smell. So big difference right off the bat, as we're kind of seeing it be the same, other than it also doesn't talk about how it dries. So on the 303, it talked about how it does not dry. You need to wipe off the excess. The Turtle One does not talk about that. But you do have a really fresh, I can't pinpoint the scent, but like a fresh linen almost scent. You're getting about the same amount of shine. You're getting about the same amount of everything else. It's not streaking on me. Neither did the 303. The biggest difference I'm noticing is that scent, which is what I pointed out as kind of the big bummer in the 303 one. I think especially as people are kind of being a little bit more health conscious. I know for me, I'm becoming a little bit more aware of the products that I'm ingesting, especially as I'm detailing and not wearing gloves, I guess, right now. So I just, whether this, Turtle Wax product is quote unquote healthier, at least having the scent be better and a little bit more fresher, is giving the illusion of it being healthier and better. No grease, it's not coming off on my hand, and same with the 303. So looking really, really good there as well. Really nice to apply. I mean, and again, that fresher scent. I know I harp on weird things like the label's cool and the scent is fresh, but again, you have to think about this. If you're applying it to the interior of your car and then it's something like summer like it is now and things are heating up and getting hot, whatever the scent is of the things that you're putting in your car are just going to be magnified. So if you have kind of a chemical scent to a product and then you detail your car on the weekend or whatever, you go to work, it sits out in the parking lot, and then you hop in it for lunch and then you have this like aroma of crazy chemical, you're going to be bummed. Whereas something a little bit more fresh. But look at that in the camera. That is the look I like. So I think the 303 also offered a similar look, but as you can see, it's not greasy. And this, for both of the products, this is the look I prefer. It is a little shiny, shinier than some people may like, but it's not greasy in your hand. It's not going to get greasy if you put your elbow down. But the benefit to having a protectant on the interior surface like this, especially in a time like, say, summer, where people are sunscreening up, the sunscreen will transfer onto all these surfaces and dye it. If you have a protectant down, just like a wax protectant, the sunscreen is going to sit on top of the protectant, not on the substrate itself, making it easier to clean. Similarly to having a wax or a ceramic coating on the exterior of your car, and then contaminants not penetrating the actual clear coat or factory clear coat of your car, but rather happening to the ceramic coating in your car. That's kind of the approach I take for interiors. I'm not a huge fan of interior coatings. I much prefer protectants or quick detailers, interior detailers. But most of the time, interior detailers don't offer this like level of shine, and I like this level of shine. So again, a little bit of an explanation there, but let's move on to the seats and see how it looks. For me, this car is the family wagon, so that's why I mentioned the sunscreen thing, because after all, this is a Land Cruiser. I do not baby this thing. I do baby it, but I don't shy away from taking it off-roading, go through dunes, go through a bunch of different things, but then I like to come back and have a nice, clean car. And so having a protectant on the inside is almost just as important as having a protectant on the outside. My kids, we eat in the car, we go to the beach in the car, we do a lot of things in this car. So since I already kind of have another layer of an interior protectant on these seats, What I'm actually looking for is how is this product playing with that product? Is it streaking? Are we adding too much shine? Is it looking weird? Does it look like a tire shine on the seats? All those kind of things. And it really doesn't. It really just applies really, really nice. It is adding a little bit of shine, which I'm okay with because it tends to dull down a little bit. I also do have a light reflecting on it, but it's looking good on this plastic as well. And in the door seal, what I'm going to do after I go there, so it's smooth across the surface. It smells really nice. Hit the steering wheel right here. Looking good. So again, how I use these products are more as maintenance detail sprays for the interior. And so I use them in that way. And then what I'll do is come through with like a dry towel kind of weekly and knock down any dust. So I probably will have to do an update on these products to see if either one of them repel more dust than the other. So I will do those updates in my stories on my Instagram. Actually might have been a better angle to hit the seat. As you can see, the seat is a little bit shiny. I will say the camera is picking it up a little bit shinier than it actually is in person. It doesn't look like you put a tire shine on the seat. So the door sill right here, again, now you have multiple surfaces there, just like on the passenger side. You have plastic, you have, I don't know, chrome, I guess not chrome, but you have some sort of metal, you have plastic, and you have a rubber door seal down here. So you have a lot of different surfaces. I prefer to foam these up and hit it with a small brush, you know what I'm saying? That's what you'll find over on my Instagram. So I need it back in the car, but honestly, it checks the box for me as well, even instantly. That's what I like about these products, is you can instantly tell if it's working or not. It's not streaking on any of the surfaces. That seat does look pretty shiny in the camera, but it's in real life, it does have some shine. I'm not denying that, but it's not as shiny as it looks in the camera. More importantly, it really hits all these surfaces perfectly without overshining them, which I think is important, especially for me, someone who, again, doesn't like a matte finish, but prefers something a little bit more, I like the cherry on top, but what can I say? I like tire shine too. So I think on the interior, they both, I should say, do equally as well. It's really hard to find a clear winner for interiors other than the scent. And I think that is a key distinction, and I think that goes into user experience on a lot of the products that we use as detailers. So in that case, the Turtle Wax one, or the Mr. Cartoon rather, takes the cake on that, with winning by a long shot with their really nice fresh scent on the interior. Let's check out some exterior. This exterior shot, what I would really like to see is any differences. Again, looking for differences, and when you move to the exterior of the car, this is where scent matters a little less and really just goes into the user experience. So let's apply it right there with the Mr. Cartoon, and then over on this side, that's a lot for a little area, and then see some differences. So a couple differences just initially. The 303 is a little bit runnier, so you see it running off, where the Mr. Cartoon is a little bit of a thicker formula. That viscosity usually, well, I was gonna say, most times doesn't mean much. And well, it does mean a lot, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean anything. So depending upon where you're spraying it, as you can see, it's running off where the Mr. Cartoon is not. Traditionally, a thicker formula product works better, traditionally, though in recent years that has not necessarily been the case. What's really cool is that the 303 can be used on the outside, so you can kind of, I'm just going to spray a little spray right there, and you try it on the paint and see what that looks like. I'm assuming going to be a total streaky mess. I would not recommend using this as like a detail spray for the exterior car, but since they said it could be used on the outside, I thought I'd try it. Guess it works. Looks really nice. The 303 does look really nice. As you can see, I've still continued to let the Turtle Wax one sit there, or the Mr. Cartoon, I don't know what you want to call it, and it's not running anywhere. It's not, I think that is more of a preference thing. as far as thickness is concerned, but both virtually the same. And what's great about these is it's non-greasy, both of them. So I like that a lot. So both passed the test on the trim. So non-greasy and non-greasy. Again, I just really can't get past the scent because it's such a dramatic difference. And I know I'll probably get reamed in the comments, you know, for the sniffy sniff, but the user experience behind a scent that is more pleasant than another is just night and day difference. And I personally will choose a product that smells better if all things being pretty equal, which these products seem to be pretty equal. I would always opt for the one that smells better because I go for the total user experience. It's the same when you're talking about like ceramic coatings. If a ceramic coating, one brand is easier to install than the other, and they produce generally about the same result, you will every time go with the one that smells better or that applies better or whatever. I also want to apply the Turtle Wax one on the paint, though it doesn't say you can. The 303 one did. I just am interested to see if it's kind of a streaky mess or not. The car's not really the definition of clean on the paint either, but so again, that's why sniffy sniff tests are important to me. If you do use the Turtle Wax one on the paint, it does seem to be a little bit grabbier and not as smooth as the 303, though the Turtle Wax one does not say to use it on the paint. I really wouldn't use either on the paint. It does look like you might be able to get away with the 303. All right, let's go over to tires and see how it goes. We move on to the tire now. One thing I forgot to mention, so better late than never, is that the price difference in the products, which is very unlike me. Usually I nail that down. So as we kind of show this, I think the 303 has a 3 to 5 weeks for the 303 Protectant, and then I think it was the Tune one that was 3 to 5 minutes before driving. Wipe excess product to prevent sling. So the Mr. Cartoon one is $10. I picked this one up at O'Reilly's for $10. It's also available on their website. The 303 Protectant is $18, so almost double the price. You get 16 ounces and you're getting 16 ounces. So it's almost double the price for the Protectant. So again, because I'd failed to mention that previous, I was really leaning into the scent, and I guess I'm gonna do half this tire as we're talking about it. And this is where that runniness may really get us into trouble too with the 303. However, I was talking about the scent alone is going to save you, or would be my favorite. But then again, all things were pretty equal, and the Turtle Wax or the Mr. Cartoon is double the price. This is going to be an interesting point to why they probably made the Cartoon one thicker, is for when you use it for tires. When you saw the 303, it ran right away, and as I'm talking, I'm going to set a timer for 3 to 5 minutes. I guess I'll set it for 3, and I'll probably cut the video and come back to it, but this is probably why they made it thicker. It's not running off nearly as much. And so that, to me, the overarching theme now is kind of shifted of scent is great, scent is very, very important, and was definitely a deciding factor for me. But now with me realizing that the price is so drastically different, I'm definitely going with the Mr. Cartoon Protectant. Though the 303 was really is, not was, but in this video we saw it was very, very good and is a good product. It's just they're so similar, why not save yourself $10 per bottle, right? So I'm gonna let this kind of dwell in and see if we see any difference in the tire, and then I'll bring you guys back in about 3 to 5 minutes. So it's been about 4 minutes since I sprayed the tires. The Cartoon side is still wet, so you're going to want to definitely wipe it down, which is what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to wipe that down because you do not want to, with products that are running like this, you do not want to take off before they're dry. Which is interesting that they said the 303 doesn't air dry, but it is air drying. And I'll probably have to bring you guys in a little bit closer so I could show you that, well, I will wipe it too, but it did look a little splotchy on the tire, but that's okay because if you're gonna rub it in anyway, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, I'll bring you guys in a little closer and try to show some differences. So here I'm bringing you in a little bit closer. This is the Mr. Cartoon side. Offers a pretty nice level of shine. There is the 303 side, and the 303 is going to give you a little bit more of a matte finish on it. Again, not bad. Let me see if I can flip around this way. Here is the 303 side again, and again, not bad. It did look a little splotchy right in there to me, even after rubbing it. And there is the Mr. Cartoon side from a different angle. Definitely gonna get a little bit more shine, a little bit more gloss. Added the protectant there. See, streaking a little bit again right there. But overall, did really, really well. With that, these products are very good, very similar. We're really splitting hairs. We're really getting into the weeds with the products. I would say the two biggest differences to me is that the Mr. Cartoon one is $10 and the 303 is $18. Again, at least at the time of this recording. And so, but I really liked how they finished with interior products, exterior products. This is actually, you know, admittedly a kind of a category or a product set that I don't really spend too much time into. So it was nice to kind of spend the day and the previous couple days kind of messing around with these products and seeing what they're capable of. And I would honestly highly recommend both of these products. I just like the price point and the scent of the Mr. Cartoon at 10 bucks. I think that's a total steal. This is definitely a cheap versus expensive. 303 has the kind of tried and true name, but honestly, I'm gonna have to dive into this a little bit more and spend a little bit more time with products similar to these because I really have had and enjoyed messing with these over the past few days. And so yeah, I'm gonna cut the video there, but definitely recommend these. Definitely would recommend checking out the Mr. Cartoon one and seeing what it can offer for you. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And on your way down there, don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button. I'll catch you guys on the next video. See ya.